Let me ask you something. Have you ever said something in a fight that you immediately regretted? Like the words left your mouth and some part of you was watching from the ceiling going, "What are you saying? Stop! Stop!" But you couldn't. And then it was over and you were left with the aftermath, the silence, the shame, the I don't even know who that person was. Here's what I need you to hear today. And I need you to really let this land. You weren't a jerk. You were biologically offline. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what that means. And more importantly, what to do about it. Because understanding your red zone without a system is just expensive self awareness. I'm Erica, and this is Mind Fusion Transformations. So let's get into it. Okay, quick neuroscience lesson. And I promise I'm going to make this land in your body, not just in your brain. Your brain has two neighborhoods. I call them the upstairs and the basement. Upstairs, that's your prefrontal cortex. This is your logic center, your empathy, your ability to hear your partner's words instead of just their tone. Your capacity to say, "I hear you," when every cell in your body wants to say something else entirely. The basement, that's your amygdala. Ancient, fast, designed for one thing: survival. It doesn't care about your relationship. It doesn't care about your 20-year marriage or your business partnership. It cares about keeping you alive. Now, here's what happens in conflict. Your heart rate starts to climb. 60 beats per minute, 80, and the moment you cross approximately 100 beats per minute, something physiologically dramatic happens. Your body makes a decision, without your permission, to reroute blood flow. It pulls resources away from your prefrontal cortex, your upstairs brain, and floods your muscles, your survival systems, your fight or flight machinery. You are now clinically operating with roughly half your normal cognitive capacity. Let me say that again. When your heart rate crosses 100 beats per minute in a conflict, your effective IQ drops by approximately 50 points. You are not choosing to be unreasonable. Your logic center has had its power cut. You're arguing from the basement. And every word you say from the basement, that's your most expensive mistake. Now, here's where I need to push back on some advice that's been floating around therapy circles for decades. You've heard it. Use I statements. Say, "I feel hurt," instead of "you always do this." Beautiful advice, genuinely helpful when you're regulated. But let me tell you what happens when someone is at 110 beats per minute and they try to use an I statement. They say, "I feel like you never listen to me." And it's got all the venom of a threat and none of the vulnerability of real communication. Because here's the truth. Language is an upstairs skill. Nuance, tone softening, empathy, that all lives upstairs. When you are in the red zone, your basement brain doesn't have access to those tools. You can try to use I statements all you want. What will come out is I statements wrapped in cortisol. And your partner's nervous system will hear the cortisol, not the words. This is why the most emotionally intelligent people I work with, therapists, executives, coaches, people who know better, still blow it in the kitchen. It's not a skill gap, it's a biology gap. You cannot skill your way out of a physiological state, which means the answer isn't better language, it's better timing. So, how long does it actually take for your brain to come back online? John Gottman's research gives us a number. A minimum of 20 minutes for your cortisol levels to drop enough for your prefrontal cortex to re-engage. 20 minutes. Not 2. Not the time it takes you to walk to the kitchen and come back with an apology you don't actually mean yet. 20 minutes. And here's the thing that surprises people. The cool down doesn't work if you spend those 20 minutes replaying the fight in your head. Every time you rehearse what you should have said, every time you imagine their face and you feel that spike of anger, you're re-triggering your stress response. The cortisol clock resets. A true 20-minute biological cooldown requires active nervous system regulation, movement, breath, distraction, something that gives your body a physiological sign that the threat has passed. This is exactly what we work on inside the inner sanctuary framework and what I teach in my hypnobreath fusion work. Links are below. The 20-minute rule isn't a timeout strategy. It's a biological necessity. And when you understand that, you stop taking it personally when your partner needs space. And you stop feeling guilty for needing it yourself. Now, I have to address something. Because I can hear some of you thinking, Erica, that sounds like stonewalling. My therapist said stonewalling is destructive. They're right. Stonewalling is destructive. But stonewalling and a biological timeout are not the same thing. Here's the difference. Stonewalling is withdrawal without communication, without return, and without repair. It's the silent treatment as punishment. It's disappearing and leaving your partner in a flood of anxiety, waiting, interpreting your silence as abandonment or contempt. A biological timeout is a regulated exit with 3 things: a reason, a time frame, and a return commitment. I'm not stonewalling you. My body is in the red zone right now. I need 20 minutes to regulate, and I'll come back to this conversation at the specific time. I'm not leaving you. I'm leaving the red zone. That sentence, or something like it, is the difference between a repair attempt and a wound. And this week, I'm giving you the exact scripts for how to say it. Scripts that work even when your partner has an anxious attachment style and hears, I need space, as I'm abandoning you. More on that in Thursday's podcast episode. Make sure you subscribe in the link below. I want to talk about something I call the success tax, because it's the piece that nobody in the high performance conversation is addressing. High achievers are by definition good at winning. You're persuasive, you're articulate, you can build a case faster than most people can form a thought. You've been rewarded your whole life for being right, for being sharp, for out-arguing the room. And when you bring all that skill set into the red zone, you become the most dangerous person in the room because you're not arguing from logic anymore. You're arguing from cortisol, but with the rhetorical precision of a closing attorney. You'll find the things that lands, the sentence that cuts, and you'll land it cleanly. And then you'll stand in the wreckage the next morning wondering why your relationship feels like a war zone you didn't mean to create. The success tax isn't about being a bad person. It's about having extraordinary tools available to you when your basement takes over, and not yet having a system that's faster than your own competence. So, what does actual regulation look like in real time? Not in theory, not on a retreat, but in your kitchen at 9 p.m. It's not deep breathing while your partner is talking at you. That doesn't work. Your nervous system is still receiving threat signals. It's not counting to 10. Your cortisol doesn't care about counting. Real regulation in the red zone looks like this. First, early detection. You catch the physical signals before you cross the threshold. Jaw tightening, breath shortening, thoughts narrowing, the flicker of contempt. These happen before 100 beats per minute. That's your window. Second, a regulated exit. Not silence, not disappearing, a communicated, connected departure from the conversation with a reason, a time, and a promise to return. Third, active cycle completion. During the 20 minutes, movement, extended exhale breathing, something that interrupts the cognitive replay loop and sends your nervous system the signal that the threat has passed. Fourth, intentional reentry. You come back to the conversation from a regulated state, not perfect, not unactivated, but present, upstairs, and available. This is the system. And this is exactly what we build in the Stop the Death Spiral Intensive. I want to be honest with you about something before I close today. Information alone does not change behavior. You can understand every single thing I've explained in this video: the amygdala hijack, the 100 beat per minute threshold, the success tax, the cortisol timeline, and still blow it in your next conflict. Because knowledge lives upstairs and the red zone cuts the power to upstairs. What actually changes the pattern is building the system at a somatic level, in your body, in your nervous system, not in your notes app. That's the work. That's exactly what we do inside the Stop the Death Spiral Intensive. We identify your personal red zone map, your specific triggers, your specific early signals, your specific exit points. We build your biological timeout protocol so it lives in your body, not in your memory. We practice the reentry, the regulated return, so your nervous system knows how to come back to a connection after activation. And we do it at a level that actually sticks. Somatic, hypnotic, breath-based, nervous system first. 5 seats remain. We start Saturday, and the link is below. So to bring this home, you are not your red zone. You are a regulated human being who sometimes gets biologically hijacked. That hijack is not a character flaw. It's a nervous system that was designed to keep you alive and hasn't yet learned that your kitchen isn't a battlefield. The work isn't about becoming a robot. It's about building enough regulation before the red zone hits. So when it does, you have a system, not a script you forget, not a technique you read about once, a system that lives in your body. If this landed today, share it with someone who needs to hear that they're not broken. They're just biologically offline. I'm Erica. This is Mind Fusion Transformations, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of your nervous system. It's the most important relationship you'll ever have.